What's up, M.B.U? Jesus is the reason for the profit every season. All right, family, here we go. You know how we always talk about keeping things simple? That's what this whole strategy is about. Because when we first started messing with TSLL, we tried to get fancy. We tried to be slick. We thought, hey, let's set some big ladders. Let's aim for 70% wins, maybe 45% wins, swing big, swing hard. But the truth came out in the back testing. The data doesn't lie. 70% hits? Almost never. In 8 months of testing, it happened once. One time. And 45% wasn't much better. Barely touched at all. But 25%? 25% was the steady workhorse. It was always there, over and over again. That's when we realized, wait a second, why are we waiting around for the rare stuff when we can just clip steady wins that actually happen? So we pivoted. We took that 25 and we chopped it down into 10, 20, and 30. Now, instead of sitting around waiting forever, we're stacking consistent wins. It's the difference between trying to win the lottery and running a small business. The lottery might hit one day, but the business pays you every week. This method became the family bank system. 3 calls, 3 puts, profit tiers set at 10, 20, and 30. When one hits, you sell it, you rebuy a fresh one on the same side, and you bank the profit. Simple, disciplined, repeatable. That's how the family bank grows. Little by little, just like Proverbs 13:11 says, wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. And let me just throw this in real quick before somebody gets carried away and tries to sue me or something. This is not financial advice. Not even close. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your broker. I'm not sitting here with a license. I'm just a guy on the internet breaking down what we do at M.B.U. If you take this and blow up your account, that's on you. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't have your grandma send me an angry email. We're here to learn, we're here to grow, and we're here to build steady discipline. Now, let me tell you a little story. One day we were testing the old DCA rule. Back then we thought, if the puts are getting killed, let's just add more puts. It's bound to swing back. So we stacked more puts. What happened? TSLL laughed in our faces and ran another 8% higher. Our puts looked like burnt marshmallows at a campfire. That's when it hit us. DCA on the opposite side is just digging a deeper hole. You don't fight a runaway train by throwing more bodies on the tracks. You step aside, you let it run, and you focus on replenishing only what actually sells. That's the beauty of this strategy. You only recycle what paid you. No chasing, no doubling down into destruction. And here's the thing that makes it even more powerful. Every single profit goes into the family bank. The family bank is untouchable. It's not money you gamble with, it's money you keep. That's the whole purpose. It gives money a job, a direction, a reason to exist. It's not about buying Lambos. It's about creating a system where the profits you pull feed back into long-term wealth. Because every time you pull that 10, that 20, that 30%, you're saying this profit is protected. This profit is sacred. Even if one side decays to zero, the family bank has already stacked wins. That's how you build something real. Now, let me pause for a second because I know somebody out there is thinking, so you're saying I should do this with my account, right? And here's my second reminder. No, this is not financial advice. I'll say it again and again because people have a way of hearing what they want to hear. This is not me telling you to bet the farm. This is me showing you a system we created through trial and error. If you take it, adapt it, and use it, that's on you. If you don't, that's fine too. But don't mix this up with professional financial guidance. Let me also sprinkle some humor in here, because if we can't laugh about the market, we'll cry. Remember the first time we hit a clean 10%? It was like the smallest win ever, but it felt like the heavens opened up. I'm talking grown men dancing in the living room like they just hit the game-winning shot. Why? Because it wasn't about the dollar amount. It was about the system proving itself. It was about knowing we had found a rhythm that actually worked. And when that second tier hit at 20%, it was like confirmation all over again. Then the 30% came in and sealed the deal. That's when we said, okay, this is it. This is the family bank method. No more chasing, no more trying to be a hero. No more letting greed ruin a good day. You know, people underestimate how hard it is to do the simple thing. Everybody wants to complicate it. They want the perfect indicator, the perfect timing, the perfect news headline to swing the trade. But the truth is, you don't need any of that. You just need discipline. You just need to stick to the rule. Sell at 10, sell at 20, sell at 30, rebuy, bank the profit, repeat. The market will do what it does. You just keep harvesting. Like M.B.U, thank you for sticking with me all the way through this far because I've got a gem for you. Something that separates people who are just pressing buy and sell buttons from people who are actually practicing strategy. A lot of folks ask the same thing over and over. When do you buy? When's the right time to actually run the strangle strategy? And I get it, because timing matters. If you're too early, you're stuck holding dead contracts. If you're too late, you're chasing moves that already happened. So here's how we break it down. The best times to enter are when the stock is trading sideways, going nowhere fast, or consolidating after a run. That's your sweet spot. Think of it like the calm before the storm. The market is loading up energy, waiting to explode in one direction or the other. When you see those tight ranges, that choppy back and forth with no real breakout, that's when you load your calls and your puts. That's when the juice is about to come. Another prime opportunity is when price is pressing against what we call the hold zone. These zones are areas where the stock consistently reacts, almost like invisible walls holding it in place. At the top of the hold zone, that's where puts become valuable. You're basically saying, all right, it's running hot, but this is the ceiling. On the flip side, at the bottom of the hold zone, that's where calls become powerful. You're buying in at a level where the stock has proven it doesn't like going lower. Now, here's the beauty of this. You don't need to be a superhero guessing exact tops and bottoms. You don't need to catch the knife in midair. You just position yourself at the right time when the stock is boxed in sideways or pressing at those clear zones. That's when the probabilities are in your favor. It's not gambling, it's structure. And let me say this, the discipline is what makes this work. Anybody can get lucky once, but discipline is what stacks wins into the family bank. That's why we don't just buy randomly in the middle of nowhere. We wait for sideways action. We wait for consolidation. We wait for the hold zone. That's how you turn trading from stress into strategy. So remember, sideways equals strangle zone. Consolidation equals opportunity. And the hold zone is where calls and puts get their real power. If you can master the patience to wait for those setups, you'll be miles ahead of the people clicking buttons just because they feel like it. It's simple, it's structured, and if you stay disciplined, those moments can be extremely profitable and beneficial.